Benjamin. Today I will tell you about the 7 continents and a little other information. First, we will start off with the 7 continents, which are North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, Oceania, and Antarctica. 7 different continents. Can you remember that? Okay, now we will talk about the 7 continents. First we have Oceania. It is mostly one of the strangest continents because there's actually kind of a continent in it that's also a country. It's named Australia, and it's a continent and a country in one big area. And some parts of Oceania, they just have these weird masks. Like, it looks like they have a big cucumber for a nose and stuff. Hairy cheeks on the masks. Not anything like African masks. We'll talk about those later. So there, Australia is the 6th biggest country, so some countries are bigger than actually a continent, which is also a country. It's very fascinating. Well, I think that's all about Oceania. Now we're gonna move on to Asia. Asia is the biggest continent in all of the world, even in the history of the world. It has 46 different countries in it, and it's pretty famous because of all its views everywhere. And also, they own the country with most people, which is China, and the country with most land, which is Russia, also called Russian Federation. But it's also owned to Europe, too. We'll talk about Europe later. And it has the country with the biggest city named Tokyo, and it's in Japan. India, it also has the 2nd biggest country by people, named India. I don't know why so many people live in it, but they live in more than the United States, which is North America, which we're going to talk about later. Let's see. What else did I talk about? Okay, I guess that's all about Asia. Now, we will... Oh, yeah! Let me show you how big Asia is. All of this is Asia. And it's so big that it stretches all the way from the Arctic Circle, which is freezing, all the way down to the equator, which is like melting there. And China is in the middle, so people mostly live there. And actually China is, like all the people who ever lived there live there now because of the governments. They just won't let them out of the country. Next, we should talk about South America. If you ever visit it, it'll look amazing, especially in Brazil. Because there's, in the middle of the rainforest, there's a beach in the middle of the rainforest where there's a waterfall near it. It is amazing. The Andes is the longest mountain range, is mostly in Chile. Chile really doesn't grow that much because of desert and mountain. It's hard to grow stuff. Only if it's cactuses. Well, I don't really know if there is any cactuses in the desert in Chile along the Andes. Brazil is the 5th biggest country in the world. I think the next biggest country would be Argentina. Oh, and this is fascinating. Every single country in South America is connected to Brazil except for Ecuador and Chile. Chile also has the biggest rainforest in the world. It named the Amazon. It is almost as big as the Sahara Desert in Africa, which we'll also talk about later. It's like on the equator, right here. Mostly in Brazil, in Peru, and well, I think that's like all for South America. And now we will move on to Africa. Africa, it's like the #1 hottest continent. Takes first place for it. Sahara Desert doesn't necessarily have as much rainforest as South America because of the Amazon, but it does have it on the equator just like South America. The whole world, all the continents that are on the equator has rainforest. No desert, no other hot stuff. Just rainforest. Now, oh yeah, we are on Africa. Africa, it's a pretty big continent. It takes second place for biggest continent in the world, and for most people. Africa has 12.5% of people, and Asia has 63. But Asia still has a lot more than Africa, but Africa still takes second place. It's only a little bit tinier by land than Asia. And African masks, I can show you where the African masks are located on this globe once I get it. The African masks are usually in Benin, in Niger. And Africa only has has a few island countries. The biggest one would be Madagascar, and that's like right over here. But Niger has the most people in Africa. Sudan has the most land. Okay, I think that would be